The European football transfer window never ceases to surprise, and now it's Liverpool's turn to be in the spotlight with a decision that's generating plenty of curiosity among fans. The story revolves around a player described as remarkable, a manager with grand plans for the future, and giant clubs willing to open their wallets for him. We're talking about Luis Diaz, the Colombian forward who has become a key figure in the Red squad since his arrival. And of course, there's also manager Arne Slot, who has taken on the responsibility of shaping the squad for 2025 and is determined to keep his group intact, at least for now. But let's start from the beginning, because this saga promises to be a long one, filled with twists, turns, and strategic decisions that could reshape the club's future. Since the summer transfer window opened in early June, Liverpool have been at the heart of some thrilling activity in the market. The club has not only welcomed 5 new players to its ranks but has also shown a renewed ambition, with significant investment led by manager Arne Slot and sporting director Richard Hughes. It's as if Liverpool are sending a clear message to the world: they are ready to challenge for Europe's biggest trophies once again. However, all this excitement brings with it some tough questions. With so many reinforcements arriving, it's only natural that some players will end up leaving. And this is where Luis Diaz comes in. His name has been circulating regularly behind the scenes in transfer talks. European giants, including Bayern Munich and Barcelona, have been closely monitoring his situation. Recently, Bayern even made a serious approach to bring the Colombian to Germany, but Liverpool responded with a firm no. Yes, you read that right, Liverpool turned down an official offer for their star. According to Sky Sports journalist Lyle Thomas, Bayern Munich sporting director Max Eberl received a categorical response from Liverpool's leadership: Luis Diaz is simply not for sale. The decision was so definitive that discussions between the two clubs ended before they even truly began. It appears Liverpool have no interest in negotiating the forward's future, at least not during this transfer window. But why? What's the reason behind such an unshakable stance? Well, the answer may lie with manager Arne Slot. Since taking charge of the Reds, Slot has been carefully crafting a plan to rebuild the team and return Liverpool to the top of European football. And within that plan, Luis Diaz holds a central role. The Colombian is seen as fundamental to the style of play Slot wants to implement for the 2025-26 season. His pace, technical ability, and knack for deciding matches make him an irreplaceable player right now. Liverpool's executives are also aligned with Slot's vision. According to sources close to the club, the board is prioritizing the team's performance over any short-term financial gain. In other words, they'd rather keep Diaz for another 2 years, even if that means facing future risks. After all, when a player is considered key to a club's plans, it's difficult to imagine him being sold without a compelling reason. However, not everyone agrees with this strategy. Some critics argue that Liverpool may be making a mistake by not capitalizing on the interest from clubs like Bayern Munich and Barcelona. After all, Diaz has just 2 years remaining on his current contract, and unless the club can renew it quickly, they risk losing him for free at the end of the 2026-27 season. That would be a major blow to the club's finances, especially considering the fee they could fetch for him at this moment. Furthermore, there's another important point to consider: age. When Diaz's contract expires, he will be 30, an age where many players begin to lose a step. Will he still be the same explosive and decisive player we know today? Of course, no one can predict the future, but that uncertainty is enough for some to view Liverpool's decision as a risky one. But on the other hand, who can blame the club for wanting to hold on to such a special talent? Luis Diaz has been a true standout in recent years, winning hearts with his passion for the game and his ability to turn seemingly lost moments into golden opportunities. He's the type of player who makes the difference in decisive matches, who lifts the performance of his teammates, and who gets fans on their feet in the stands. For many, he's more than just a player, he's a symbol of the fighting, resilient spirit that defines Liverpool. So, what can we expect going forward? For now, it appears Liverpool are firm in their decision to keep Diaz. That means we're likely to see much more of the Colombian on the pitch over the next 2 years, wearing the iconic red shirt and battling for major silverware. But at the same time, the pressure on the club will mount as the countdown to his contract renewal begins. If Liverpool fail to reach an agreement by then, they could find themselves in a tricky position with no guarantee of fair financial compensation. In the meantime, fans continue to dream about what the future holds. Picture Luis Diaz leading Liverpool's attack under Arne Slot, backed by new signings and seasoned veterans. It could mark the start of a golden era for the club, full of memorable triumphs and unforgettable moments. Or it could be the beginning of a new chapter filled with challenges and tough decisions. Only time will tell. One thing is certain, regardless of what happens, this saga involving Luis Diaz has already proven that football is about far more than just numbers and contracts. It's about emotions, passions, and stories that become etched in the collective memory of fans. And in this case, we're witnessing a chapter that promises to be thrilling until the very end. While the football world is still digesting Liverpool's firm decision to reject offers for Luis Diaz, another question is emerging in discussions about the club's future: the fate of Harvey Elliott. The young English midfielder, once considered a rare gem within Liverpool's squad, is now under the spotlight for very different reasons. After shining at the under-21 Euros and playing a key role for the England squad, Elliott has returned to the centre of attention, but this time, not just for his exceptional talent, but also due to speculation surrounding his role in Arne Slot's Liverpool. To understand the situation, we need to look at how it connects to the Luis Diaz saga. Both players are immensely talented, but their paths within Liverpool are starting to diverge. While Diaz is seen as indispensable to Slot's plans and his stay is currently assured, Elliott appears to be approaching a crossroads that could lead to his departure from the club. And here, dear reader, begins a fascinating journey filled with emotion, strategic decisions, and the inevitable cycle of renewal that every great club must face. At 22 years old, Harvey Elliott is a player who commands instant admiration. Since leaving Fulham to join Liverpool, he has been viewed as a bright prospect, someone capable of lighting up the pitch with his refined technique, vision, and ability to create chances from seemingly nothing. Over the past few years, Elliott has clocked up significant minutes under Jurgen Klopp, often used as a versatile piece in midfield or even on the right wing. He has featured in an impressive 34 or more matches in some seasons, proving he could be trusted during crucial moments. However, the arrival of Arne Slot has brought Wurtz, the emerging star from Bayer Leverkusen. The Red squad is undergoing a transformation. And within this landscape of renewal, Elliott seems to be slipping down the pecking order. In the 2024-25 season, he made just 18 appearances under Slot, a significant drop compared to previous years. This decline in game time has not gone unnoticed, not by the player, not by the fans, and certainly not by the transfer market analysts. Recently, during a debate on TalkSport, two influential voices in British football, Simon Jordan and Jermaine Janers, shared their views on Elliott's future. And, surprisingly, they both reached the same conclusion: Elliott should leave Liverpool this summer. Jermaine Janers, former Premier League player and respected pundit, was emphatic in stating that, given Elliott's age and potential, he needs to be at a club where he can play a starring role. Yes, that's my honest answer on whether Elliott should leave, Janers said. I think whenever you're a young player and someone puts real money on the table, along with competitive wages, you have to put yourself in that position. He went on to highlight that Elliott deserves to be playing regularly for a team competing in European competitions, ideally the Champions League, or at the very least, the Europa League. Simon Jordan, businessman and outspoken football pundit, echoed those sentiments. He noted that Elliott's trajectory at Liverpool is clearly pointing towards a peripheral role. If you look at the direction of travel for him, Slot's come in, and he's played 18 games in the first season under the new manager. The club keeps buying other players. So, he's likely to be a bit part player, and because of that, he really needs to move on. Is not enough. To grow and fully develop, a player needs regular opportunities, especially during the formative years of their career. And right now, Leipzig and Wolves are monitoring Elliott's situation. One name keeps cropping up as a possible destination: Tottenham Hotspur. Under the guidance of Ange Postecoglou, Spurs have been looking to rejuvenate their squad and add creativity to their midfield. And who better to fill that gap than Harvey Elliott? Jamie O'Hara, a former Spurs player, was among the first to publicly advocate for bringing Elliott to the club. "I definitely take him at Tottenham," said O'Hara in a recent interview. he praised Elliott's versatility, being able to play as an attacking midfielder or on the right wing, as a valuable trait for Postecoglou's system. Moreover, Tottenham offer the prospect of Champions League football, something that would no doubt appeal to an ambitious player like Elliott. Of course, nothing is set in stone yet. So far, there have been no concrete negotiations between Liverpool and any interested clubs. However, the pressure is mounting for Liverpool to make a quick decision. After all, keeping him in the squad without offering sufficient playing time could be damaging for both the player and the club. At this point, it's impossible not to draw a parallel between Elliott's situation and Liverpool's decision to reject bids for Luis Diaz. While Diaz is seen as central to Arne Slot's vision, Elliott appears to be slipping into a secondary role. This contrast highlights the complexity of decisions big clubs must make. On one hand, there are players who are essential for the present and near future. On the other, there are young talents who, though promising, may be sacrificed in pursuit of a broader strategy. But is Liverpool making the right call by letting Elliott go? Some argue that losing players like him risks weakening the club's local talent base and compromising its identity. Others believe that making room for fresh talent, such as Roots, is vital to keeping Liverpool competitive in the long term. For now, all signs point to Harvey Elliott moving closer to the Anfield exit. Should Tottenham, or any other club, secure a deal, Elliott would have the chance to prove his worth in an environment where he's truly valued. And for Liverpool, the move could represent an opportunity to reinvest in areas still in need of strengthening. But whatever happens, one thing is certain: Liverpool are undergoing an exciting and challenging period of transition. Between Luis Diaz's stay and Harvey Elliott's likely departure, the club is shaping its future in ways that will be widely debated over the coming weeks and months.